we're back with another camp oven cooking with Hard Night Coffee. We're going to do a little number that I found in a cookbook for when you're a bit low on water. It's called beer stew. Now, what we're going to need for this one, we're doing a beef stew. So we've got some nice beef here, some veggies, fresh herbs from our garden over here. I showed you in a previous blog. Fantastic stuff this, spring onions and so forth. Next thing, right, our usuals when we're cooking a stew or any sort of thing that goes in these camp ovens. We use our standard barbecue spices, salt and pepper, mixed herbs, bit of seasoning, which is basically a bit of salt substitute. This stuff here, magic in stews, brings a richness up in the gravy that you wouldn't believe. Do yourself a favour, and instead of stock or water, we're using good old-fashioned 4X gold. So a bloke out somewhere, I think it was Tomo actually. Tomo said that he was running a bit low on water and he wanted to keep his water for drinking. He had some beer. Personally, I would have used the water and drunk the beer. But anyway, he decided to use the beer in the cooking and it came out great. So we're going to get ourselves a flavour base going on here in our next video. So we'll see you then. Okay, flavour base time. Here we go. We've had our camp oven on here, preheating for a bit. Get it nice and hot so we can get these onions caramelised. Get me magic rock off of here. I'll explain what it was for in a previous blog, but I'll show you later for anybody who missed it. Lid off. Right. In we go. Onions. Bit of oil. Oh yeah, baby. Righto. Pepper. Barbecue spices. Now I explained this in a previous video too. This little sucker, Aldi, if you can find them. Freshly ground salt, I like that stuff. Mixed herbs, it's a staple of mine in most of my cooking because it just has a nice combination, even though we do have some fresh herbs with us. This stuff here, oh look out, your bloody assistant hasn't undone it yet, are they? Oh dear, rightio, she'll be for the sack. Here we go, right, bit of seasoning there we go, all-purpose seasoning. Right, now let's get this thing going on here. All those flavours mixing in there. Alright, the onion's already starting to soften up, but it hasn't caramelised yet, so we're going to put it back on the heat for a bit. And once she's caramelised, we'll be back and we'll get into the next part. Right, caramelised onions, here we go. Only takes a couple of minutes. And that's all sorted in there. Caramelised up, softened up, got the flavours going on. Now we've got to brown our meat off. I've put a little bit of smoked ham in here too because I had a couple of slices of smoked ham I had to get rid of. And it adds a very nice flavour as well. But you don't have to put that in. Just something there that I had and I thought I'd use it. Rightio. Now we'll get those flavours mixed in with this meat and then we'll get that browned off. Just got to seal that meat. I'm going to put a fair bit of heat into this just to seal that meat off. Beautiful. Okay, lid. Whisk up. Now, here's what the magic rock is for, just in case you missed it last time. This camp oven doesn't hang straight, it always hangs to this side. So if I put my magic rock on there, then it does hang straight, right about there. Perfect. Right. Oh, whack her on there. Whack it down a couple of notches because we want to put a fair bit of heat into that meat straight away, just to seal it off. And we'll be back to show you all that in just a second. Okay, we've browned the onion off, we've browned the meat off. It's looking pretty good in here now. Now it's time to add the rest of the ingredients. Here we go. Root vegetables. They're going to take longer to cook than all this other stuff. Some fresh herbs. Oh, lovely. Now this stuff here, that's a bit of broccoli and a bit of corn. I'm going to add that later after this has had a bit more of a chance to cook. Otherwise that broccoli is just going to turn to mush. Right, give that a bit of a stir. Now, here's where we add the magic too. It's normally at this point we need a little bit of fluid. The cook and the stew. So, this one is for the stew. This one is for the cook. Beautiful. Right, we'll get that one back on the heat and get that bubbling away. Oh, I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon, I really can't. This is just fantastic. I'll bring that up just a touch. Magic rock in the right place. Okay. It's time for the dad joke. Right. Now I got some sagely advice from a bloke once. He said you never trust atoms. They make up everything. No? Oh. Well, if you don't get it, look it up. See ya. Righto. She's been on for 20 minutes and I reckon it's going to be just about done by now. Time to go to the final stages here. Yep, bubbling away very nicely. That's the temperature we want. Oh yeah, that potato's done for sure. Oh yep, we're good to go. Right, now, next phase. Vegetables that don't take very long to cook. Whack them in. Done. Mix yourself up your gravy and your thickener. Alright, so what we're going to need for this is we're going to need some hot water from our trusty Billy. That we always keep there. Bit of hot water, go on, get in there. We're going to need some Vegemite. I like to put about a teaspoon in. This stuff is magic. Dissolve it in there. That's going to take a little bit of dissolving. We'll leave that there. Now the other thing I've got for you, dumplings. These go great in a stew. Now this is just a simple recipe we found online. It's just some self-raising flour, some butter, and some some water and some milk. I'll whack those in there, let them cook. Okay, back to our Vegemite. There we go on here, Mr. Vegemite. A bit of a whip up there. There we go, now we're looking better. Alright, smells bloody good too. A little bit of plain flour, because it's good for thickening things up. There we go. Haha. A little bit at a time. Try and squash some of the lumps out of her. There we go. Oh, loving it. Beautiful. Rightio. Bit of gravy mix on top of there. Cop that, dumplings. Haha. Oh, yeah, a little bit of Vegemite almost escaped. Right. Now we'll whack that back on again for another 10 minutes, I reckon. And we'll see how we go. But this is another one like spaghetti bolognese. I'm cooking this in the afternoon. On there. Cooking this in the afternoon, but once this thing's cooked, you can just take it up off the heat with your tripod and just have it sit there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. It'll just simmer away and keep the temperature in there, and it will be absolutely magic no matter what time you eat it. So yeah, well, you get to sit around the fire, you get to tell dad jokes, you get to have a couple of quiet social drinks with your mates. It's all good. Well, not right now, we don't in Corona world, do we? But anyway, at some stage in the near future, hopefully we'll be able to get out of this isolation, and we'll be back cooking on the fire around a whole heap of good friends. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. Right, we're back, and I reckon this is done. Here we go. Oh. Beautiful. Now, if you're wondering about these dumplings too, we're going to throw the recipe up on our Hard Night Coffee Facebook page. It's a pretty simple recipe. If I can do it, anyone can. And like I said in my first blog, if it's not simple, you're doing it wrong. Now those dumplings have come up, oh yeah, they're cooked. Very nice. Our other veggies have cooked in there really lovely. Oh, that is looking good. Gravy's coming up good. Oh my gosh, look at that gravy. Oh yeah, baby. Right, well, that is going to sit on the fire until I'm ready for dinner. It's just going to sit there and stay warm, and all the flavours are going to mingle. It's going to be absolutely lovely. So, hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea how easy it is to cook in a camp oven. Some people get really worried about this stuff. You know, they're quite happy to learn how to cook in a kitchen, but when it comes to this stuff, it just freaks them out. I'll tell you, it's really not that hard, you know. Oh, right, we'll whack her up here a bit. Done. And that's it for another fantastic episode of Cooking with an Idiot.